All right. Welcome to the FWL podcast. We obviously opened up with Bret Hart's music because of the news of Bret Hart being diagnosed with cancer and everything. So we wish him the best. And Bret Hart was amazing. With me here, I have Playboy CVV.
Hey, just a question for you. How come you already picked the music and didn't tell me what you were picking before I got here? Did you honestly think that I was going to be that big of a troll to you to actually give you any crap at all about having Bret Hart's music at the beginning? I mean, I know he's your hero and everything like that, and he just made some bad career decisions, and I still think he was being that when he's on Raw and stuff like that now, he acts like crap on purpose and always bad talks to WWE. But if you would ask me who the best wrestler, pure wrestler ever was, if I was being completely honest, a lot of people would say Bret Hart. I would say, Kurt Angle is another one that I have, and I would have loved to see them wrestle each other. But, it might be Bret Hart. It'd be Kurt Angle close second.
I'm so glad that Zach's not here right now.
Yeah, you thought I was going to say Shawn Michaels.
How dare you? That is not what I thought at all. Well, it was a pretty slow news week in wrestling, actually. ECW's Axl Rotten passed away.
I wish I can say more about the guy. I mean, I loved ECW, but I didn't get to watch ECW a lot. I got to see the pay-per-views every once in a while. I saw him maybe wrestle a couple matches, but I know he was pretty over and with his tag team with Balls Mahoney. And, they were over. I mean, I don't know why, but they were.
News hit about Samoa Joe might be going to the main roster. So I'm curious if they're going to bring him to the main roster before WrestleMania or if they're planning on doing it afterwards. But again, just a rumor. I don't see Samoa Joe having a place right now on the main roster. So I'm not really the hugest Samoa Joe fan. So what do you think?
Well, I think soon as Tyson Kidd heals up and he's ready to make that last run before he needs to retire forever because he's had too many injuries, that's when Samoa Joe will come up just to injure Tyson Kidd again and end his career.
That sounds about right. So how about the little kid on Raw in the Bullet Club t-shirt doing the Big E dance? I'm calling it right now. Both of those two people wearing the Bullet Club shirts were planned. They were setting up for the Bullet Club. That's what's happening.
Yeah, I didn't think of it that way, like they were plants. I just thought, where I was thinking is everybody who was huge, like New Japan wrestling fans and stuff, who were all hardcore with Bullet Club. I mean, they fight with me saying, no, the Bullet Club belongs to New Japan, and they're going to make it the Baylor Club. I don't think so. I think it's going to be the Bullet Club because I don't think Vince McMahon, because he's so much of an egomaniac, would have even showed the kid in the Bullet Club shirt if he didn't buy the Bullet Club. We just recently had a picture of McMahon in a Bullet Club shirt. He bought them. He bought the name rights, I bet you.
There is no chance in hell, pun intended, that there would be a close-up on somebody in a Bullet Club shirt on Raw if WWE didn't own them. And it wasn't just a close-up. It was on the people for a long time. So I'm pretty sure that deal is sealed. I think you're going to see Bullet Club. You're not going to see Balor Club.
Well, you have they don't show CM Punk stuff all the time, and you don't see them showing people in Ring of Honor shirts or TNA shirts. So, yeah, I mean, I have a gut feeling he'll be Bullet Club.
So there's rumor you told me about AJ Styles.
Yeah, it just came out today. Hopefully it's a rumor, but it said that he has heat with Vince McMahon back there, and speculation was about, maybe missed spots or wrestling style, I hope it's just all a rumor, but I did see AJ Styles. I know he botched, but it really wasn't his botch. I thought it was Curtis Axel's, but he botched one move that they called like a Pele from the top rope. That didn't look like that to me. It looked like he was doing that flipping reverse DDT he usually does, but Curtis Axel looked like he didn't set up far enough, and he got just kicked in the head. So,
well, it's obvious that it was AJ Styles' fault because Curtis Axel, he never botches anything. I mean, that guy truly is amazing at everything he does. Have you heard him on the mic? Have you seen him in the ring? It couldn't have been AJ Styles' fault, obviously. Hold on a second. You're gonna hear a noise. Hold on, Albert. We're not done yet, Albert. The people who are in the league know what we're talking about right now. Anyways, our backstage sources tell us the reason you haven't seen AJ Styles on like hardly any mic promos, he only said like 4 words, is he's on speech therapy to get rid of his southern drawl. Apparently, they don't like it. Do you think it's a good idea for the speech therapy thing to happen? Or do you think it even matters?
I don't care one way or another. It's, I like AJ Styles, and he's never been that great of a mic worker and that southern drawl and stuff. And, but I think everybody knows him already. The people that are marking out for him are people that knew him from other federations anyways, where he had that southern draw. So I think if they got rid of the southern draw, it'd be McMahon again insulting the intelligence of the fans because, we know what he really sounds like.
Well, yeah, pretty much. Everybody knows what he sounds like. Let's see. I'm not really sure anything super awesome happened on Raw besides the Bullet Club shirt thing.
Well, Raw was kind of boring when that's the only thing I remember really about Raw. I mean, I'm going to have to scroll through and refresh my memory here about stuff. But I know this is probably what you're going to say right now. I was pretty irate that Titus O'Neil went over Tyler Breeze. What the hell?
It's just unbelievable. What Titus O'Neil sucks. What are they even doing with Tyler Breeze? Send him back to NXT if you're not going to use him. He was good there, and he's good here. He just keeps getting buried week after week after week. We're seeing him get buried, and it's just I don't get it. Also, we had Dolph Ziggler beat Kevin Owens. That's crazy. Kevin Owens should be the world champion right now. It shouldn't be Triple H. It should be Kevin Owens.
I wish. Hopefully he will one day, but I don't know how many times that they're just going to try to push Dolph Ziggler and try to make him something. He's already been his storylines are terrible, and you know what? His matches are good, but that's the only thing. But he jobs way too much. He's not supposed to be on the main event level. And every time he wrestles, I expect him to lose because that's usually how they book him. So I don't know. I don't think it affects Owens that much because I remember a young Stone Cold jobbing to Savio Vega, and stuff like that. But I don't know. I didn't like to see it because I don't think Owens should get beat by Ziggler. I just don't. I think it ruins some of his momentum.
We need some absolution. We don't need Kevin Owens winning, Dolph Ziggler winning, Kevin Owens winning, Dolph Ziggler winning. Just make a winner and move on with the storyline. I'm so sick of that. Are they planning on having a pay-per-view match? Is that what you think is going to happen?
This is how much irrelevant Dolph Ziggler is to me. But if they have a match with Kevin Owens, Ziggler and Owens, I don't even want to see the match. I mean, I really don't. I watch it and stuff. I mean, I'm not excited for it. I'm really not. It's like Ziggler just sucked the awesomeness out of that match. I mean, I don't know. I've given the guy a chance a long time ago. I used to think he was, they're going to build him up to be like HBK or something like that. But he's a victim. He's one of those victims of Cena. Like I was talking about last week with like Rusev and stuff like that. Just Dolph Ziggler's just hung around longer.
Hey, it looks like Brie Bella's going to get a pay-per-view Divas match. How great is that? Because, Brie Bella with all of her awesome moves, like the yes kicks and the yes chants. That's Brie all the way right there. You can't say anything else besides that. And the only reason she's getting the match is because John Cena made it happen. And John Cena made it happen because Nikki Bella just went into surgery and one of the Bellas needed to be in the main event just to keep John Cena relevant.
What I hope happens, well, this is kind of mean to hope happens, but it'd be teach WWE a lesson because Brie is a botching machine, so watch her hurt Charlotte before WrestleMania.
That better not happen. Charlotte's on my team. It's not okay. I'm just going to get some free points, and that's all that's happening.
Yeah, does anybody actually think Brie is going to win? I mean, it's almost like I don't even understand why they're having the match.
No, Brie doesn't even think she's going to win, so it makes no sense. But they are having the match, so I can have 10 points. That's why. That's what's happening right here. So also, Crime Time said they want to return to the WWE, and I am behind that 100% because Crime Time ruled.
I don't have a problem with them coming back. But, if they come back, all they're going to be is like the Dudleys. They're going to put over the other tag teams. Hey, you know what we should talk about, though? Is actually one of the posts that I put about would you fight Brock Lesnar for some million whatever dollars for 30 minutes? I don't know, I got a lot of comments. Did you see that?
I saw that. Do you have to last the 30 minutes? Like, can you not get knocked out before the 30 minutes is over and then you just don't get anything? You get beat up by Brock Lesnar?
Well, that's what I asked. I asked, okay, do I just continue to beat up after the 5 seconds that I have in there? But the funniest thing about this whole thing to me was everybody who was on the page, all the internet tough guys are on the page that were like, yeah, I totally would. Pooh, I would win. I'm like, I'm old, guys. I'm old, but it's pretty funny because I don't think some of you guys could take me, much less Brock Lesnar. And I think Brock Lesnar would probably break my back like Bane did with Batman.
I would walk in there and Brock Lesnar would just do the thing where he hits the top of your head with his hand and I would just go into the ground. That would just be the end of it. There's so many people on there that are just like, hey, yeah, no, definitely take out Brock Lesnar with my mitts. This is my yard, and I'm a dog. This is for yards. Keep rolling. They were going Undertaker on him. So Daniel Bryan is supposed to be in Monday Night Raw.
I bet you if he's there, though, it's all rumors. If he's there, he won't be like returning to wrestling or anything. I keep hearing. I mean, if he does, it would be. I'd actually be shocked. I'd be like, oh my god, yeah, WrestleMania is going to be even better. Especially did like Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles or something like that. That'd be pretty awesome. But I always have these conspiracy theories about. I don't know Vince McMahon personally, but just some of the actions that he does. But to me, he just seems like one of those guys that gets pretty jealous and pretty mad. And Daniel Bryan did ruin 2 of his Royal Rumbles and at least 1 of his WrestleManias. And I think Vince is giving him a hard time, won't let him clear.
I just think that he's going to show up and make an appearance because Raw is in Seattle. And that's the only reason that he's going to show up and do that. I mean, it'd be awesome if he came back because he just keeps screwing me over. But I just don't see it happening. So, yeah. So I was scrolling through the page here, and I came across an Alex Riley post. Why in the world is Alex Riley on the page, Steve? What the hell?
Yeah, sorry, my bad. I don't understand why this guy is still even employed. Seriously, I mean this guy, he's not entertaining to me at all. He just isn't. And I think I was talking to my brother here earlier that the only time I think Alex Riley could have went over is when he was playing that jock kind of thing with the Letterman jacket a long time ago. They could have, him and Swagger could have like teamed up, and you could have made Swagger old jocked out, and it could have been like the Revenge of the Nerds, Stan Gable and Ogre kind of thing. You could have a little cheerleader manager or something, but that probably would have been the only way to ever save him and Jack Swagger. It's kind of like the Mojo Riley, Zack Ryder thing going on right now, but no, it's Alex Riley's he's terrible. So is Jack Swagger.
Hey, listen. All joking aside, Alex Riley should be working at McDonald's. Moving on.
Did you see all 50 fans showed up to see Kevin Nash?
What? I'm reading it right now. 50 people showed up for an autograph signing. What? Oh man, this is great. I hope they had security for the crowd. That's what the post says. There's a wild, crazy crowd of people.
Yeah, I really got no comment about Kevin Nash or anything like that. I mean, I never was a fan of him at all. He'd just come out and I'd go take a piss.
To go back to what we were talking about earlier, and when I say that Alex Riley should be employed at McDonald's, I don't want him greeting me and taking my order. He just needs to be back in the kitchen, like making the burgers. I don't want to see him ever. But yeah, Kevin Nash, 50 people for an autograph signing? What a madhouse.
Score.
What? Man, that place is lucky where that happened. Well, Lucha Underground this week.
Randy Orton got injured for a long time more, so if anyone cares. Just saying, I don't know if anybody cares, but Randy Orton, well, Kyle cares. Okay, Kyle. Randy Orton got injured. You might not want to pick him with your first round next year. I know I'm just giving you a little advice. Probably not in a position to do that since you consistently beat me every year. But, yeah, I think Randy Orton's a no-go for this season.
Well, I would probably not pick Randy Orton, but if he was my favorite wrestler, I definitely would pick him no matter what. But I mean, I get it if you don't like Randy Orton that much that you wouldn't pick him in the drafts. But yeah, it could be a bad pick.
Yeah, Kyle, now I'm thinking about it, if you don't pick him really quick, I almost guarantee Joe will get him.
Well, Randy Orton and Joe are like boys. That's Joe's favorite wrestler. Joseph Holmes, everybody. Everybody who's listening to this podcast or the YouTube video, Joseph Holmes loves Rated RKO.
Well, Rated RKO is that tag team with Edge and Randy. He just likes Orton. But no, but really. Oh, here you go.
He loves the Legend Killer. He loves the Viper. He loves the RKO out of nowhere. He loves Randy Orton. And the voices that Joe hears in his head are Randy Orton's sweet whispers to him. Joseph Holmes loves Randy Orton.
Don't worry, Joe. We got your back here because if you ever got sick and we get you on that Make-A-Wish Foundation, you can guarantee, as The Rock would say, that we'd make sure Randy Orton came and visited you in the hospital.
All right. Let's move on here. So, Lucha Underground was on last night, and there was a lot of stuff that happened on there, and I wanted to touch on one thing specifically. Cage comes out and interferes and beats down Johnny Mundo. And that feud is going to be amazing. If you don't know who Cage is a giant monster that doesn't actually wrestle like a big guy. He can do the big guy power moves, but he can do flips and stuff off the ropes and everything too. He's crazy. So I'm super excited to see that.
Yeah, it's pretty. He is pretty amazing. I thought the best part of Lucha Underground was Cage coming out and the cage is gonna kill you chants. Yeah, you know what? Because I get some goosebumps because I'm a little biased with Cage because I actually about 10 years ago, maybe even longer than that, saw him wrestle right across from the hospital here, and for him to actually be now on TV on a weekly basis and now wrestling. Looks like he's going to get into a feud and a storyline with Mundo / Morrison. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. But just to switch the subject a little bit, but still Lucha Underground. I haven't got to see a lot of Lucha Underground. I saw their finale, as I said before, for last year. But I started watching it this year. And this guy, Killshot, I don't know. Is he like a regular, or was that a new guy?
He's some indie wrestler. He is popular. I'm not really sure what Fed he's popular with. So, but he's a thing. So, he was on last season.
Oh, okay, he was. Because I never saw the guy before, and I thought it was pretty cool. And and then PJ Black, that's Justin Gabriel. I don't know. I still find him boring. But no, I don't know. I'm thinking, and I asked you how predictable Lucha Underground is. So everyone get the pins out and everything, because if I'm right, this is predictable. But I've watched it only this far, and I said they're setting up Pentagon Jr. to be the champion for next season, aren't they? And you're like, I don't know. And I was like, okay, well, that would be the predictable thing. But that's what it looks like to me.
Well, everybody take your pen and paper out, write that down, and know that the exact opposite thing as what Playboy CVV is guaranteed to happen. And you can take that to the bank and cash it. At the end of Lucha Underground, vignettes for Rey Mysterio Jr. And I get it that he's an old guy and whatever, but I'm excited to see what they can do with him in Lucha Underground. His new finisher is a dropkick.
I don't want to see him in Lucha Underground, but it would be funny to have his drop kicks that kill people on there. Would be awesome. But I was I wasn't say a huge Mysterio fan, but I liked Mysterio maybe like 10 years ago. But he's lost a step, everything like that. But you know what, I'm not saying Lucha Underground shouldn't have signed him or anything, because they should have. He has notoriety, and he was really popular. I would have signed him, but I kind of seen everything Rey Mysterio. Is not going to surprise me with anything else new. In fact, I'll probably do even less because he's older.
Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much all that happened on Lucha Underground this week. There was the Prince Puma and Pentagon Jr. match, but yeah, the stuff we covered is the important stuff. The only thing that we didn't say is that the Mac used a stunner again and won with it. So that was awesome. Okay, moving on. Hold on.
Okay. Lucha Underground, one more thing. Willie Mack. I saw that match he had with Cage, which had a really cool ending. I saw this match now. I don't know a lot about the indie scene. I usually have my indie buddies around to fill me in. But this Willie Mack guy, he straight up looks like one of those guys that goes home every night and beats his kids.
Who cares? Willie Mack's awesome. You just don't like him because he's a black guy. We're having this again. Come on. Give him a chance. Okay, moving on.
You know he looks like he beats his kids. I don't care what you say.
Yeah. Moving on. There's a rumor going around that The Rock and Roman Reigns might wrestle at WrestleMania. I don't know how I feel about that. I guess all the Roman Reigns haters would like that because he wouldn't be involved in the main event unless he was the champion before WrestleMania somehow, which would be a nightmare in the main fantasy league.
Poor Roman Reigns. Yeah, I know the anti-Roman Reigns people. They don't want him in the main event. Would take him out of the main event, but those same people, this is how much Roman Reigns is hated. Those same people would probably be pissed off if The Rock lost. And The Rock is one of those part-timers. They don't like it, too. It's just, watch. If there's a match between them two, if Reigns just doesn't turn heel. If he turns heel, I think it'd get him over. But if he just still is John Cena and beats The Rock, he'll still get hated for beating The Rock.
People on the internet are going to complain about everything. And also, everything that the WWE does, everything is predictable. No matter what happens, they knew it was going to happen, even if they said something completely different. It was predictable. Well, yeah, that's what I said, but what they actually did was, the predictable thing. Everything can't be predictable. That's just ridiculous to me. And you're not going to make them happy at all if you have Roman Reigns versus The Rock, and whoever wins and whoever loses, they're going to be angry with.
Yeah, internet wrestling fans are always pissed off about something, and it doesn't matter what happens because they're going to get mad at something one way or another. I know you miss SmackDown, and SmackDown used to not be that watchable. I mean, it really wasn't. I couldn't miss it because it was just like a replay of Raw. But it's been getting better lately, and man, Jerry the King on heel Jerry the King on AJ Styles was so great. They start bringing up all of his titles that he won everywhere else, and Jerry Lawler's like, whoa. I've won more titles than anybody in the history of this business, and it didn't mean anything when I got to the WWE. So all those titles really don't mean anything, because if you don't win it in the WWE, it didn't happen. And I know as soon as he said that, if there was any indie fans, Ring of Honor hardcore fans, they flipped over a table about at that point. They did.
Oh yeah. But he got to point. He was trying to be a heel, and by the way, heel King, awesome. I don't know. He just must have hated being a face, because it sounds completely different. It sounds like he's actually into it and not just like at an old folks home saying random stuff like he was.
Yeah, it was like when he was face, he was like half asleep, just bored, like, oh, good, But now he's a heel, he has that spark again going at it, like he's having fun doing what he does. Hey, if I worked in professional wrestling, I swear I'd probably be the same way, because I wouldn't want to work as a face. I mean, I really wouldn't. I'd want to work as a heel. And if they had me being a face, as long as they had Jerry Lawler, and if he was anything like me and liked being a heel, yeah, he was bored as hell.
Yeah, I think that they should bring Jerry Lawler up to the Raw commentary and get rid of somebody there. They don't need three people. I hate the three people announce team. It makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't like the three people announce team either. But if you're talking about getting rid of Brian Saxton, you're crazy. You're crazy. He's the best announcer in the WWE right now.
And this is why Brian Saxton exists. Right here, it's Playboy CVV's fault. Just remember that. Remember. We will archive this in history. So, what if
I better be in Brian Saxton's documentary.
If you got a chance to bring up any one wrestler or one tag team from NXT, but you had to choose one of them, who would it be right now? And you had to bring someone up. You can't say you're going to wait until after WrestleMania. It's happening on Monday Night Raw.
God damn it, because I know you're going to say Blake and Murphy. I know you were. Yes, you were. No, if I really had to pick right now, it would totally be Blake and Murphy. No. No. If I really had to pick, it'd be Baylor. I bring up Finn Baylor. Blake and Murphy.
Oh man, I would think it would be hard to bring up Finn Balor. He needs that. He needs the whole Bullet Club with him and everything. He needs all those guys to bring him up. I don't think that right now is a good time to bring him up. And looking at everybody, because we also have Gable. He's awesome. I think that there's a place in the WWE for him right now. But if I'm going to bring anybody up, it's obviously going to be Blake and Murphy. No. I was just kidding. If I was going to bring anybody up, it would absolutely be Blake and Murphy.
Blake and Murphy. Gable, I really like that dude. He reminds me.
At least nobody said Bull Dempsey. Thank God.
Well, no, I do. I like Gable, and he reminds me. He does. He reminds me of Kurt Angle when Kurt Angle first kind of started.
So, are you still wanting to stick with Balor?
Yeah. Or I might change my mind to Blake and Murphy. I don't know.
It's probably Blake and Murphy. Probably. I was reading.
Okay. I got it. Okay. I'm sorry. Scratch, Baylor, and Gable. If I had to bring up one wrestler, it would be Blake.
Well, then if I had the opportunity to bring up one wrestler also, it would be Murphy. Wow. We nailed it.
Nailed it.
Play the music. All right. Perfect. Now there was one more thing that I really wanted to focus on for the end of the thing before we just review the scores and stuff real fast. There was something that was posted about a possible tournament for a Cruiserweight Championship. I'll let you start off with this.
Yeah, supposedly McMahon is interested in some kind of a Cruiserweight tournament. Now, I don't know if that would involve a champion or something at the end, but I don't care. I mean, as long as they start doing Cruiserweight stuff, eventually I think they'll get a championship. And I don't know. I want them to do I want a Cruiserweight division because they have way too much talent, right now that could be having great matches. I mean, Neville, Tyler Breeze. I don't know.
Chad Gable, Cody Rhodes, or Stardust, whatever. There's a bunch of cruiserweights right now. You got to think of the people who are just being buried. It would help so much. Nobody brought up Bull Dempsey. Remember, not a single person decided that was the one they wanted to bring up. We went around and had street interviews too. But this is what I'm saying. I think the Cruiserweight title, if they had one, would need to be used like the New Japan, like their light championship, because that can main event. That championship can main event a pay-per-view. And if you're going to have a Cruiserweight, you can't just put the Cruiserweight as a worse wrestler because he's not a heavyweight. That's where they're going to go downhill.
They can have tons of storylines with Cruiserweights, but one of the big storylines that they can have one of the years too would be the Cruiserweight steps up and wins the heavyweight title from someone at WrestleMania or something like that. Just thinking kind of outside the box. But yeah, I'm all up for a Cruiserweight division. In fact, I had a crazy idea one time where I thought that if I was running a promotion, I would have belts almost like UFC for different weight classes and stuff. But yeah, I was told I was being insane, so never mind.
That's a pretty crazy idea from a pretty crazy man. And nobody picked Bull Dempsey. No one picked him. So sorry. Sorry. All right. Who, if this Cruiserweight title thing is a real thing, who are you putting that Cruiserweight belt on? Dolph Ziggler is also a cruiserweight.
Not putting it on Dolph Ziggler. Then it just kill the whole division. It'll get boring. I would put it on Tyler Breeze. Let him have a lengthy heel run with it.
Without a shadow of a doubt, I would put it on Tyler Breeze. He's just perfect. He'd be perfect for it. And I think he would hold it good.
And, and when, you have, the heavyweights, any of them talking crap to him about only being a cruiserweight champion, very easy for Tyler Breeze to turn around and goes, that's because you're fat, and I'm not because I'm a model and all that crap.
All right, well, there's nothing really to review on points. Nothing's changed. The only
Dell bought AJ Styles.
Yeah, that's the only thing that changed is Dell bought AJ Styles, which, goodbye. Great buy. I cannot believe AJ Styles was just available for that long.
Oh, and also, it should be noted that I also read not only Samoa Joe debuting on the Raw right after WrestleMania, but I also heard that Sami Zayn's doing it too, going up to the roster full time. Hope they don't bury him.
Well, they might. They definitely might. But right now, a great buy in NXT, in the WWE main roster for the Fantasy League, Titus O'Neil. He might get you some points in some pre-matches because they're pushing him.
You know what? I think Titus O'Neil might be a good pickup. I don't feel comfortable enough with my points to spend it on him. But for some of you others that are in different positions, because it seems like they're pushing him for some reason, he might win that WrestleMania Battle Royal.
That's what I was saying. That's exactly what I was just going to say. I think that he's the number one pick for that Battle Royal.
Was that 20 points?
I think it's 25. I'm not positive. I don't know. You can look up in the rules, but yeah, I think that's a great buy. So you should probably go on there and buy it. Well, that's pretty much all we have. It's a really slow wrestling week. You got anything else with that?
No, I don't. It's been slow. Like I said, slow wrestling week. I'm thinking Ring of Honor, stuff like that. I really don't got nothing.
NXT didn't really have much going on this week either. And I would definitely bring up Blake and Murphy. Absolutely. You got to be crazy. Blake and Murphy is pure skill. I read something when NXT TakeOver Brooklyn happened and the Vaudevillains won the belts from Blake and Murphy. I read a comment, and that comment said, "Worst decision in NXT history." Good night, everyone.